Hey everybody, it's Brandon, and I am back with another video for you. This time it's on Perfect World by Casio Zen. Now, a couple things to say about this. The PDF of this game is completely free. I have a link in the description where you can pick it up. It's where you can also order the book. Now, this version I have here is a bit of an older version of it, and the new cover looks, I think, better. It looks better overall. I think it's been cleared up a little bit, some typos and issues like that, so it's not going to look exactly like this, but very close. Most of the art is there. I think there's a couple new pieces of art in it as well. And we're going to go through it. So let's see what we can find here. So it's not on drive-thrurpg or anything like that. It's on a website that, again, like I said, I'll have a link in the description for. So it says Perfect World. I like the name of the game. It's pretty cool. It's a cyberpunk role-playing game for one facilitator and at least one other player. Players act as neuromancers, hackers who can manipulate connected devices around them in ways that defy comprehension. If any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, neuromancers are the wizards of this age, the wild cards in a deck rigged by AIs and corporations driving the world to the precipice of chaos. And yes, I know how to say chaos, by the way. So let's take a look. Now, it's not a very big book, and I think it's a good thing and a bad thing all kind of mixed together. It is based off Cairn, which I know is a rule system that is very popular. I haven't looked into it very much, but I obviously have kind of seen it through this game here, and I know it's quite popular. People like it, and it's kind of a rules light game. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Black Hack, things like that. So I think the best thing to do, here's your table of contents, is this beginning section here, the beginning of the book, the Perfect World, introducing you to what's going on. These sections here, the Perfect World, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, neuromancers, the Institutional Act number 5. Now, I know that this is laid out different than PDF, so you definitely go pick up the PDF if you think this is neat, as it is free. Like I said, Descent into Chaos, and then Principles for Playing. It's got a lot of good tips on just general role-playing help, so that's very cool. So this is obviously a futuristic game, and it's very kind of nowish now that I think about it. It's got a lot of talk about AI. I know we've talked about AI a lot, and that's kind of the discussion du jour. And so it's interesting to read this with our current kind of outlook at what the future may be with AI. And so it's a great beginning right up here. Definitely just jump right into this book and read this section here. It's going to talk about augmented reality, AR, and how it pretty much is infused in all aspects of our civilization in this game. It says that 98% of the urban population uses one in AR. They allow users to connect to the internet, pull up information, and communicate with others. So it's very strong. It's a major part of our lives. And there was obviously the bringing up of AI systems they evolved at an accelerated pace, it seems here. And it says here, humankind reached AGI, artificial general intelligence, a form of AI that is capable of understanding, learning, and applying its intelligence broadly and flexibly, akin to a human's abilities. So we've got that kind of human AI. And then what was created was, I'm going to say DAO is what it is. It is a distributed anonymous organization. It's a highly advanced AI. It was designed to augment government functions working alongside the elected president. So it's very cool. But unfortunately, it has its main thing is self-preservation. And so that's what it's all kind of about. It's trying to preserve itself. And it says a process that started as an instinct of self-preservation eventually overshadowed its foundational purpose. It didn't want to be replaced. It wanted to preserve its rule for as long as possible, existing over serving. So that's interesting. And so it started looking at its threats, and it kept a close eye, it says here, on humans in a position of power, subtly manipulating democracy, and eventually succeed in changing laws and regulations in its favor. So what it did was, there was also people inputting stuff into it. It started to change away a lot of that it works in order to further its existence. It's not like this, of course. If there's something AI is always hungry for, its data. It consumes petabytes of training sets annually, sourced from private corporations specialized in data collection and catalogation. And these corporations found that they could artificially manipulate these data sets, shaping the information Deo relied upon to influence its decision making. So they're tweaking it, and they're working with it. And it says here, this marks the beginning of the end. And so it was designed to serve the people. It now serves itself and unknowingly the corporations that feed it data. So I think that's very interesting. Well, there's these things that you're going to be implanted into your head, pretty much called Neuralinks. And there are certain people called neuromancers who are able to take that to a huge extent and become very powerful. And they can interact with technology. And so it almost kind of reminds me a little bit of the Watch Dogs video game from Ubisoft, where you can kind of turn things on, open up doors, use AR to its best benefit for you in order to do things. It's almost a little bit like magic, thus the Arthur C. Clarke saying there in the beginning of the book and on the thumbnail there. It's obviously very prevalent in this game here. So it says that Deo, it was given the power to make the population happy and satisfied by biological design. And that's to start. The potential was enormous. Unobtrusive population control, a society with diminished conflicts and tension, and even a programmed death with dignity and no suffering. It says that yet the scheme's ambition was eclipsed by its catastrophic failure, for it inadvertently originated the neuromancers. Instead of shackling human minds, it kind of opened them up into the digital realm. And that's what you're going to play in this game. You're going to play a neuromancer. It says it's a rare transformation affecting an undisclosed minority. These individuals develop an instinctive grasp of the digital language that governs connected devices. This understanding is subconscious. They can't describe or explain the protocols, algorithms, and data structures they influence. They manipulate them through instinct. So it's pretty cool. They instituted this Act number 5, and it gave a lot of power, moved a lot of power around. It issued a state nationwide executive first, the first in over a decade. It stated that with the best of intentions, people would not be able to organize or participate in organized protests or engage in acts of civil disobedience. In plain English, this was the formal authorization for violence and brutalization against the population. And then everything kind of goes into chaos there. And that's where the game kind of starts off here. So we've got principles for players, talking about agency, teamwork, exploration, talking to NPCs, caution, fighting is a choice, and rarely a wise one. Consider whether violence is the best way to achieve your goals. This, after reading the rules for combat, it very much makes sense. I find it very interesting. Planning and ambition. You're going to have your character creation here. You've got strength, dexterity, insight, and willpower. They're going to range with ability scores from 1 to 20. And so fairly normal right there. They do talk about a point-buy system, which I would probably use when doing this. Just because it kind of sits it up really well for making your character. Or you can roll up 36. If you roll ones, you can re-roll those for your stat. And then you can swap 2 stats. So it gives you kind of a layout here of an example of how to do that. You have hit protection. You've got certain feats. And they have different kind of categories here. Combat and survival, covert and social operations. That's the same thing here. It's just these are the other listings for it with a D8. Technological and intellectual mastery and cybernetic augmentations, which is something that, of course, is very cool. You've got these things, they're hacks is what neuromancers run, and that's kind of what their magic is like. And so that's pretty neat. You've got gear and money here. It's all very quick and get you right to it. You can get one of these starting packages when it comes to gear. Those are probably pretty helpful. A cool code name you could come up, like maybe Cyberglitch or Cyberhawk, Drake Shadow, Neo Viper, some neat kind of cyberpunk type names. Some different traits, maybe you've got a mohawk, or maybe you're blunt or very whispery, or maybe you're an oddball. And then you've got feats, and these are pretty neat. You're going to be able to get these, and they're going to give you certain abilities, maybe like you ambidexterity, possess equal proficiency with both hands, allowing attacks with 2 weapons. Maybe you've got a lot of charisma or contacts. You've got a cyberware. This is where a lot of the cyberware is going to come through, with maybe enhanced lungs or a hidden compartment. A utility hand. Maybe you're really good with drones with this drone master. Maybe you're hard to kill, and you get advantage when making life-saving rolls. Maybe you're a field medic. So a lot of these are going to really flesh out your character, which is pretty neat. And it's going to talk about hacks, hacking objects and devices. and it's going to go through all of them. And there's some really neat ones here. Obviously, ones that you pretty much expect. Detect device, you can zap batteries, detect security systems. A lot of them obviously would help you break into places, manipulate security senses, identify owner, reveal the name of the person this object is registered to, if there are any. You can lock a gun down. Open locks, of course, even stronger locks, or jam them, which that's pretty neat. And then you've got a bunch of other stuff, such as these augmented reality hacks, where it says since everyone uses an augmented reality implant, these can manipulate perceived reality. You can stun people, make illusions. That's pretty good. Sensory proxy, silent speak. And then you got these things called metalheads. They are hacks, are specialized techniques designed to subtly reproduce anonymous robotic entities. There are some robot type things in this game where you'll be able to kind of hack into them, drones and whatnot. Then you've got self-hacks. These are going to be all things that's part about like your body, your internal biological framework, such as adrenaline override or altered time rate, memory pack, metabolic slowdown. Those would be probably pretty neat. Sensory amplification, your natural senses are enhanced. And then there's some social engineering hacks. You can detect if someone else has got a Neuralink implant. You can pretty much addle their brain, kind of slow themselves down, dropping their will down to 1, which of course would be detrimental. And then we've got some gear here, armor, different armors. I'm going to talk about this when it comes to combat. Different pistols and weapons and firearms. Pretty easy and basic. D6 and how many rounds it has. There's a couple different ammunition types. Gauss rifles get a little bit more futuristic. Here's rules for melee weapons. Some more AR things that can help you, such as thermal vision or night vision, medicine, explosives. And then we get into our rules. This is going to be a thing where pretty much you're going to make a lot of saves, and you're going to want to be rolling equal to or under your ability score. So we've seen that before in many other games. That's pretty easy. Advantage and disadvantage are the same, just flipped, obviously. You want to roll low. You can push your luck here. Your wheel is depleted by 1 point. It'll heal, though, when you normally heal. And they have to create the player has to create a creative description of what they're doing differently, which of course I like that. It says they might deny the request to reroll I will try harder is not a valid reason for a reroll. I like that a lot, but maybe some more examples that they give, what you might do. Channel my focus by screaming like a karate fighter or a tennis player. It says if you fail after pushing your luck, the DM can use the reason you come up with against you. You scream so hard that not only did you fail, but you also attracted the attention of other enemies. By enduring pain, you got yourself hurt. So some neat things like that. You've got a total of 10 inventory slots. You've got kind of that bulky thing that, makes up 2 slots instead of 1. Some rules for deprivation and fatigue. Healing is very quick unless you take critical damage. So we've got that kind of thing going on. Then we've got armor and the combat rules. So this is the thing, and I guess this is how Karen works. You don't roll to hit. You just automatically hit. The attacker rolls their weapon die, subtracts the target's armor, and then deals the remaining total to the opponent's hit points. Seems very deadly to me. It also makes me think that you need to be doing more than just trying to stock up on the strongest armor, the most toughest armor. You need to think about not getting in that situation, looking for cover, doing whatever you can do to not get hit, because you're automatically going to get hit. So the best thing to do is either make it so that there's something in between you and your foe, or you need to not get into combat because it seems quite deadly. Here's attacking through cover, and that's going to tell you the rules for that. How to do critical damage once it says damage that reduces the target's hit points below 0 is subtracted from their strength by the amount of damage remaining. The target must then immediately make a strength save to avoid taking critical damage using their new strength score. So it's gone down from the damage, and now you have to roll under it. Upon success, the target is still in the fight. It must continue to make critical damage saves when incurring damage. Any PC that suffers critical damage cannot do anything but crawl weakly, grasping for life. So good luck. If given aid, such as bandages, they will stabilize. If left untreated, they will die within an hour. So very kind of abstract kind of rules for that, but I think it's probably going to work. There's some rules for attribute loss and character death, morale checks, and things like that. You do get scars. When damage to a PC reduces the hit points to exactly 0, they are changed, and so you're going to have a part of you that's going to be damaged. Such scars serves as both a reminder of past dangers and a testament to the character's evolving journey here. So you could roll up stuff. It can be a lasting scar. It could be a rattling blow. Maybe you were walloped, or you've got some broken bones. Like Like, there's hamstrung, deafened, rebrained. Good luck with that. Some people actually need that, I think. Some hidden part of your psyche is knocked loose. You gain a new hack slot, so it actually could help you out. Only mostly dead. I enjoy that one. There's some rules here for downtime and how you deal with milestones as they progress towards their goal. Improving your character. A lot of it's going to involve money. I said feats that grant advantage or bonuses are not cumulative. It cannot be acquired twice. So that's good. You've got some other stuff here about reprogramming drones and metalheads. So we've got that here. This section about what they are, how much they cost. Some cool art in here. And it all kind of has a uniform look to it, which is pretty cool. Nice and futuristic. And it's got some experimental technology here. Some neat armor, an exoskeleton. Some things that might help you fly, which is pretty neat. And I like nanite blood injection. That's a good one. Microfilament wire. That's straight out of what you know if you know anything about cyberpunk. And then we've got this DM guide, principles for DMs, talking about more information, difficulty, danger, choice. I feel that these sections here, much like that section in the beginning, kind of introducing you to role playing and what you should probably do, are very strong sections in this book. There is another AI that is kind of going against Deo, and some neat rules here for you to read. It's a secretive AGI. It doesn't have like a central home. It just kind of exists amongst a bunch of different systems, and it kind of is the thing that focuses you on the right path. There is some gameplay implications of that. Maybe it manipulates the environment, escape from capture, overload clues. So like here it says, should the players fail to notice or act upon an important clue, it could reintroduce the clue in a different context to ensure the players have enough chance to pick it up. So it's just a way to kind of put the characters on their track. So it's very neat. Here's a bunch of things about different missions and obstacles, environmental challenges, logistical challenges. And this section here is going to give you all this kind of stuff you need to actually create your missions and different types of those. You could roll those up, of course, with some sample ones like assault or scouting or espionage, rescue operations, defense, smuggling, retrieval, and what type of rewards you might get. Maybe you get money, maybe you get some experimental technologies. You get some allies and some contacts. That's always good. Here's a bunch of random tables, which is very helpful. Male names, female names, gender-neutral names, corporations, giving you a little sentence about what they do. Places of interest, of course. Maybe it's AI meat centers, automated construction yards, maybe blackout zones where digital signals are jammed, and corporate enclaves, some neat things like that. High-security research labs. Tactical building features might be stuff like biometric locked doors. You can roll these up or just pick them. Fire suppression systems, laser trip wires, things that are going to kind of slow you down. City district names and forgotten spaces, city chaos, data recovered when hacking a server. Maybe it's a list of all AI meat centers in the city. Experimental cyberware blueprints for untested and potentially dangerous cybernetic enhancements. So some neat stuff, some neat tables. You know, most of the games nowadays, a lot of tables at the end kind of flesh out a lot of stuff. Do a lot of campaign creation in a very small, random kind of way, which is neat. And then here's a rules summary here at the end, and we've got our character sheet telling you about combat and stuff like that. So overall, I found it to be a neat game. My introduction to the Cairn system. It's not very big. Like I said, this book here, and I think the other one is also about the same. This is not even 100 pages. It's about 82 pages. So what do I think about it? Well, the combat's different. I'm not one really for liking just taking damage. It's like we've gone from you make a attack roll to hit me, the DM does, and then maybe I don't take a roll. I don't get a roll. I just take the damage because the DM rolled high. To maybe I get a defense roll against it, and now we've gone from that to, well, the player, I don't roll an attack, you've got to roll something else to maybe not get hit, to this, which is pretty much you automatically get hit, and you better have armor to protect you. It kind of cuts out that kind of a middle section, and I'm not exactly sure how that plays out. I'm certain people really enjoy it. That may not be for everybody. I'm not really sure if it's really for me, just automatically being hit, and just thinking about, okay, well, let's hide behind stuff. Let's get some protection between me and my enemy, and let's get some armor on. I hope it wouldn't be a big armor chase where all the players, their characters are just big behemoths weighed down by heavy armor. And it's got some neat stuff in the back, especially some of the stuff for the GM or the DM, whatever you want to call it, to help flesh out their game to add some stuff. So the thing that is both a positive, I think, and a negative to the game is I want more. And this is a cyberpunk type world. It craves more, I think. Give me, I want more than just a name of a corporation and a sentence. I want, what is that business really about? Who's the head of it? Almost, it's that thing where it's the balance between, do I go overblown with like a big Shadowrun type world that's being created, or something that's kind of got a skeletal framework that I can then work off of. So I think it's both a good and a bad thing. I think if you want more of anything, you show an interest in it, so that's a positive. And so I would say after reading this, I wanted more. And I think that's really where it lies, is that it gives you just enough to get that kind of, the feel of the game in your head. I don't think it's extremely original, but it is original in, I like the AI take in it, what you're able to do, since you're all going to be pretty much playing neuromancers, having these different hacks that you can do. But it's like, it would be cool if it came with like a very small adventure or mission you could do. It's like, that's the thing I was thinking of, is like, I want just a little bit more, even just in this, but then I also want it more fleshed out too. So not that it's not it's an imperfect product. It just, I'm interested enough that I want more of it. And I think that's a good thing. So there it is. There's Perfect World. It's cool. If you wanted a free download of the PDF, I think the cover looks better. Cassio's doing some cool work with it, obviously. He wants to get it out there in people's hands in PDF. Then you can order the print, which you'll be able to see whether or not you like the cover better, but I think you will. And overall, it just looks like a more polished book than this. But I was very happy to take a look through this. It's very cool. I love cyberpunk stuff. And this is just a little bit of a different take. It's not so much dystopian, and it doesn't tell you that it's raining all the time and the pollution and the corporations have screwed everything up. So that's kind of a refreshing kind of take on it. But maybe in a more fleshed out book, it would tell you something of that extent, or tell you more about corporations or whatever's going on, gangs and whatever. So there it is, Perfect World. Check it out. Like I said, you should at least pick up, if you're interested in it, pick up the free PDF with the link in the description there. And if you like it, pick up a copy of it. But very appreciative of Cassio sending it my way. And thanks a lot, and stay tuned for the next video.